Hello, friends, welcome again. So, in the last session, we talked about window functions and we have learned aggregations as part of it, and we saw how it makes our life easy, right? I mean, earlier we had to do a group by, a join in order to achieve the same thing, but now with such a easy syntax using this window functions, window aggregate functions, we can do this. Now we will see more examples in order to understand this. Now what you understood till now is you have to give a aggregate function. I mean, the syntax is you have to give a aggregate uh, function. It can be sum, min, max, average, count, whatever. uh, so again, if I say aggregate function, I will say agg function, because you replace it with sum, min, max, like that. And then you also define the column name, right? The column name on which you want to do that column name, right? For example, salary was the column. So this is sum, and let's say salary, and then again over, and then both partition by and order by are optional, right? And we have seen that if we give partition by, it is groups by based on that particular column, like in an earlier case department. And if we do not give that, it treats the entire table as one big partition. Now we will see some more examples for this, right? So let's say I am writing something like uh, whatever I have taken. Let's say I have taken this, right? So let me just take this. Let me just take this, and I say select some salary, partition by city department. I'm removing this, okay? Then you understood it will give sum of salary for the entire table, kind of. Now, what if I do not give partition by, but I am giving order by, let's say higher date? What's going to happen now? What's going to happen now? I'm not giving partition by. That means the entire table is one big partition, right? I'm giving order by higher date. Till now, as part of window aggregate functions, I have not given the order by clause. But now I'm giving that. What is going to happen now? So let us see. Sorry, I okay. Let us see this. I'll just show you based on the results. Now you see this, that how it has sorted the data based on higher date. So the earliest higher date, by default it will be ascending, right? So 2nd of December 2020, 14th Feb 2021, 15th March, right, 2021, 23rd July 2021. So it has sorted it based on ascending order, right, with the small earliest higher date as first and the last one at the end. Now after that, what it has done, sum of salary we have mentioned. That means till now, what is the salary? 70,000. Now at this point, what's the total salary from the starting till the at this till this row? It is 1,28,000. So now what we are getting is the running total. We are getting the running total. When we come here, we add 68,000 to this, so we get 1,96,000. Now when we come here, we add 60,000 to 1,96,000, so we get 2,56,000, and so on. So it's like we are getting the running total. That means, I mean, if we have to interpret from this, that means till 23rd July 2021, the total salaries per month that we were paying were 2,56,000, right? Because that's the higher date. Only four employees were there till then. Total salaries per month paid were 2,56,000. After this, one more employee got hired on 19th of November 2021. Now, total salaries which this company pay per month is 3,23,000, because it pays this 70,000, 1 lakh, 70,000, 58,000, 68,000, and so on. So now it is doing a running total. I'll just write it. So this anyways this same, right? So what it is doing, this is doing a running total. So what it has done, it treated, I mean, there is no partition by. We understood that, right? So it treated the entire table as one big partition. That's fine. So order by hire date. That means, does it have to do some partition wise ordering? No. For the entire table, it will do. How? Based on hire date. And since we have not mentioned descending, by default, it will be ascending order. That means the initial hire date, right, will be at the top, and the highest hire date, that means someone who is hired very late, will be at the bottom. Now, after that, sum of salary. So it starts doing a running total. That means if we talk about the first row, it will just give salary of first row. If we talk about row number two, it will just add up one and two. Right? If we talk about three, it will add up one, two, and three. So till this third row, the total sum it will give us. Right? So if we talk about this 3,23,000, that means all the sums of salaries till this point, right, is this. I hope this you can understand. Just have a look at it. Okay. So now let me create one more table, sales. I mean, probably I would have created it earlier, but let me quickly drop. I do not know what variant of it is there. Drop table sales, right? And I will create this sales table now. I'll talk about it, what it is. And I will say select star from sales. Select star from sales. Okay. So we have sale date, what product, product name, and unit sold, right? So you can see that, okay, product ID 1 was sold on 15th August 2024, four quantities. On 16th, six quantities. On 17th, five quantities were sold, like that. For product number 2 also, from 15th, on 15th, 15 quantities are sold. On 16th, 18 quantities, and so on. Product number 3, on 15th, 8 quantities. On 16th, 10 quantities, and so on. Right? I hope you understand this data. Let me quickly take this and put it as part of my SQL notes so that I do not miss out. Okay. Now I want running total for each product, right? Running total of quantity sold for each product. Running total for each product based on quantity sold, right? So I can say select star, comma. I mean, instead of star, whatever columns you want, you could have mentioned that. But for now, we'll give star. That means I want all the columns from this table, comma, and then I can say whatever function from which table, sales, right? And this is the part I need to write. Now of course I want some, for example I need that for let's say laptop, I sold four quantities on till 15th. Till 16th I have sold 10 quantities. Till 17th I have sold 15 quantities of a laptop. Till 18th, 22 quantities, like that. And then again, when I start for smartphone, I sold 15 quantities on 15th. On by 16th, for smartphones I have sold totally 33 quantities, right? By 17th I have sold totally 45 quantities of a smartphone, like that. That means we have to partition by product ID, and we have to order by sale date, right? And then do a sum of units sold. I'll just show you that. So sum of units sold over, right, partition by, partition partition by what was it? Partition by product ID. I could have done product name also, but fine, product ID. Uh, order by what? Order by sale date, I guess. Sale date, right? Sale date. Okay. By default, it will be in descending or ascending order. And I can say, as I give it some alias, let's say total sales, right? Total or running sales. running total or whatever, right? Now, if I run this, let's see. So you can see this product ID 1, that means laptop. Till 15th, I have sold 4 quantities. Till 16th, I have sold 10 quantities. Till 17th, I have sold 15 quantities. Till 22nd, I have sold 42 laptops. Till 26th, I have sold 71 laptops. That means till this date, how many laptops I have sold, right? Again, for a smartphone, okay, till 19th, I have sold 82 laptops, right? Till 23rd, I have sold 149, I mean, not laptops, smartphones, right? Till 22nd, I have sold 71 tablets. Till 24th, I have sold 90 tablets, right? Like that. So this kind of output, if you, I mean, you have that kind of requirement where you want running total, right? Day by day, right? Or whatever, then this is very, very handy. I hope this would make sense. Just have a look, right? Now in this, what if I remove partition by? What if I remove partition by here? In this, I remove partition by, what will happen? What's going to happen now? Select star, comma, sum of units sold over order by sale date as whatever the running total. What is going to happen now? Let me run this and explain you. Now you understand the entire table is one big partition, number one thing, right? So it does not have to differentiate something based on the ordering. I mean, it does not have to do something based on your product ID, I mean, right? So now you see order by sale date. So you see there are repetitions now. There are repetition sale date because on this 15th, 4 units of laptop were sold, 8 units of tablet were sold, and 15 units of smartphone were sold. Right? So when this kind of a scenario happens, when there are repetitions, right? When there are repetitions, it consider it as one group. It consider it as one group. And for this group, total sales was what? 15 plus 8, 23 plus 4, 27. So total units sold of all laptops, tablets, and smartphones, it will show you that, right? So that's how it is that if there are repetitions based on your ordering, right? This order by sale date and sale date is repeating, then if it is repeating 3 times, it consider it as one group kind of, and it kind of aggregate the total units sold for this. So 27, 27, 27, right? Because how it will decide that okay, it has to show, I mean, 4 and then 12, because even though it shows you on first line, second line, third line, but all three are at same level, right? All three are at same level, first level, think it this way, because as part of ordering, all are at the top because their sale date is matching. It's not that this is first, second, and third, right? If somehow we can build that criteria where order by sale date, comma, let's say otherwise, if sale date is matching, then product ID, right? Then product ID. Then now we have given a criteria that okay, these three are matching. So now based on product ID, it will sort. So one will be first, two will be second, three will be next. Then it will give proper this thing. It will not, I mean, give this kind of stuff. So you see this. So since it was matching, it would sort it based on product ID 1, 2, 3, and based on this 4 units, 4 plus 15, 19 units, and 19 plus 8, 27 units. Right? So we have given a distinction criteria, that means now it's not repeating, right? That means now this particular line is at top. This is at second, right? Whatever you see, it is the same way. But if I do not give this, right, and there are ties, then it consider all the ties as one thing, right? So this is there is a tie between these 3 rows. We could not differentiate which one is at top, which one is second, which one is third, even though you see in some order, but these are all at same level. So it considers all these units sold together, 27, 27, 27. And if you do not want this, then whenever there is a tie, you can give a second column so that it can order based on that. Otherwise, you expect this kind of a behavior. I hope this is clear. Now, after this, so this is 27, and now since these three are at one level, so it will sum up 6 plus 10, 16. 16 plus 18 is what? 34, right? So 34 plus 27 is 61, 61, 61, right? So only way I mean to do a tiebreaker is if there are ties, then you can give a second column based on which it can do the ordering. Let's say product ID, right? Could be anything, right? Now you won't see this behavior. I hope this is clear. I'll just write it down, right? Just have a look at it. You will understand what I am trying to do, right? So you can always give a second column in order to remove the ties, right? Okay. So I will write it in case of duplicates, it consider it as one group. We have seen that, right? So you can always give a second column in order to remove the ties, right? Ties means duplicates. Whenever there are duplicates and ties, you can give a second column in so that you do not get that behavior. Might be that's the expected behavior for you. It depends on your business requirement, actually. Okay, fine. Okay, now let me write the same query what we wrote some time earlier. So the query is, let's say this I am writing. Now we will make some changes to this now. We will make some changes to this. So what I am doing, some units sold over partition by product ID, order by sale date. I mean, do you recall what was the answer we were getting from this? Do you recall? That means partition by product ID, order by sale date. So product wise, product wise, I am getting how many quantities sold till a particular date, right? We have done that. Now, what I do, what if I need to have a moving window of 3 days rather than saying from the start till that point? Like, for example, when I said 26 here, that means from the starting till this row, the sum is 26. But what if I do not want the sum from the starting, rather, I want a moving window of 3 days, right? What if I need to have a moving window of particular number of days, let's say of 3 days? It could be 2 days, it could be 5 days, whatever it is. Then how do you approach this problem, right? Like how many units sold in last 3 days? Like if you have to answer something like how many units sold in last 4 days, how many units sold in last 3 days, like that, right? How do you approach this? I can say select star comma sum of units sold, right? Units sold. Now what I have to do, over clause, over, right? Partition by, partition by product ID. That means for each product I want that, okay, for each product tell me how many laptops were sold in last 3 days, how many mobiles were sold in last 3 days, like that. So partition by product ID, order by, order by sale date, right? Sale date. And what I can say, earlier I just gave this, right? Partition by product ID, order by sale date. Now I will give something else to this. I mean, since if I write here, I mean, I'm just putting it down because otherwise I have to scroll towards the right. So it's a continuation to this. What I have to say, I have to say rows between rows between two preceding, right? Rows between two preceding, that means two previous rows and current row, right? I'm saying my window size is like two preceding and current row. Earlier, if you see, earlier if you see when you are not specifying what was that from the starting till here, that means if we talk about starting, that means unbounded preceding. That means start unbounded preceding. We will see that also. So by default, if you are not giving, this is equivalent to unbounded preceding. That means the very start of it and current row, right? So this is equivalent to what if I am not giving it anything, this is equivalent to writing unbounded preceding and current row. Rows between unbounded preceding and current row. But now I'm saying rows between two preceding, two previous rows and current row, right? Let me write it and show it to you what we will get. Let's see. I am getting okay. Select this from what is the table name, sales. Okay, so you can see this now. And as the, let's say, running or 3 day window, whatever it is, right? Okay, so you can see this now. Laptop. So we are starting from 15th. Let's say we started selling laptop from 15. So in the last 3 days, how many we have sold? It will be four only because previous 2 days we have not sold it, right? On 16th, when we, if someone asks, okay, on 16th, if someone is asking, that means at the end of 16th of August 2024, if someone asks how many laptops are sold in last 3 days, then it is 4 plus 6 10. The it is for 2 days, but third day, very first day we have not sold, right? Kind of on 14th there was nothing. On 17th, someone asked, okay, how many laptops sold in last 3 days? That means on 15, 16, and 17. So it is 6 plus 5, 11 plus 4, 15. Now, on 18th, if someone asks, how many laptops sold on last 3 days? That means on 16, 17, and 18. 15th is not added, right? 15th is not added. So 6 plus 5, 11 plus 7, 18, right? So if we would not have given this rows between two preceding and current row, instead of 18, this would have given 22 because it would have added the first one also. But now this is the window. Now when we reach here, when we reach, let's say, on 19th, 17th, 18th, and 19th, these three rows become one window. 5 plus 7 plus 4, 16, right? Like that. So this is a 3 day window. Two preceding and current row. That means two previous rows and the current row. That means when we are at that this row, we talk about two previous rows and this current row, right? So if I am here, then I talk about two previous rows, which is this plus current row. So total this three, right? I hope this makes sense. We have to say from sales, of course, right? Just have a look at it. Now, now let me just do one thing. What if I use order as like order by sale date as descending? If I just say partition by product ID, order by sale date descending, and I have to find the total sales for last 3 days, how will I do now? Right? How will I do now? So now you think that if I do descending, the highest date is at the top. So if someone asks, let's say date 16th is at the top, 15th is, or let's say 20th is at the top date, right? I'm talking about 20th of August, let's say. 19th will be below, 18th will be below, 17th will be below that, right? 16th, uh, what I'm doing, 1 minute. Okay. 16th, okay. And after this, let's say 15th. I hope this makes sense. right? So now, if someone asks us here, what is the sale for previous for last 3 days? Then will you look up or will you look down? You will look down, right? You will look down. That means you will say rows between current row and two following, right? So you will say rows between current row. Let's say someone asks you on 18th, what is the total product sold in last 3 days? Then you will say rows between current row and two following. So instead of two preceding, now we have two following. Let me just show you that, and I will say as 3-day sales, right? So let me just take this, put it here, run it, and you can see on 24th, six quantities of laptops were sold. But if someone asks us on 24th, what is the sale or how many units of laptops sold in last 3 days? So 6 plus 7 plus 3, total 16, right? 16. So you see this. So between current row and two following, right? So you have to understand the logic based on whatever, right, you are up to. Now, what if I say, what if I say, uh, let's say I just take this and I say rows between two preceding and two following. I mean, I do not know whether it makes sense or not, but let's write it two preceding and two following. Right? See, my goal is to talk about what is preceding and what is following. Might be logically it does not make sense because we might not be able to solve a business use case with this particular thing right now. It can help you at certain places, but not in this place, right? But what it will give us? It will, so let's say I am removing this descending here, right? Now, what this will give? It will give the sales of previous 2 days, current day, and the next 2 days. Total 5 day window, right? 2 days before, 2 days afterwards, and 1 day the current day. So let's see, and I will say 5 day sales. 5 day sales, current day, two previous, and two next, right? So for example, if you see on 18th, right, total 7. Before these 2 days was what? 6 plus 5, 11. 11 plus 7 is what? 18. And then next 2 days. 18 plus 9. 18 plus 9 is what? 27. So you see 27. Right? So that means for this row, if it gives what is 27? Current row, two previous, and two next. That means between two preceding and two following. Of course, the current row is there. Right? So two rows earlier, two rows next. That means from this 6, 5, 7, 4, 5. Total 5 rows. I hope you kind of understood this. Right? Okay. Just have a look. Fine. Now, next what? What if I say, let's say, I'm just showing you all scenarios, possible scenarios. Uh, Over partition by product ID, order by sale date, rows between, I will say, unbounded preceding, and current row. Right? Unbounded preceding means from the first row, right? From the first row within this partition, of course, right? And current row. So let me run this and show it to you. Now I should not say 5 day sales as uh, running total Okay. Now you see this for laptop, right? Partition by product ID. So laptop is together, smartphone together, tablet together. Okay. For laptop again, it has sorted it based on sale date, right? Now, how many units sold on 15/4? How many units sold till 16th, right? So if you are on this row, second row, rows between unbounded preceding, that means first row in this group. First row is this one and current row. So that means 4 plus 6, 10. Now, when you are at third row, unbounded preceding means first row and current row. That means from first row till third row, right? So 4 plus 6 plus 5, 15, like that. When you come at 7, so 4 plus 6 plus 5 plus 7. So this is actually the default behavior also. I mentioned that also. If you actually do not give this, whether you give this or not, it will be the same result because default behavior is this for running total. Now what I do, let's say I give a comma and I just make a copy of it, right? I make a copy of it. Some units sold as uh, running total 2, running total 1, right? And now let's see. Sorry, I will remove this rows between this part. I just give this here, right? So, I mean, what I'm saying, rows between unbounded preceding and current row is implicit even if you do not give that. Let me just show you that. I mean, you see the results. Running total 1 and total 2, they will match. There is no change as such, right? So by default, this is the behavior. I hope you kind of understood this part, right? So this is the default behavior also, right? So even if we do not give it, it, I mean, implicitly specifies the same thing. I hope we are good with this. Okay. So let us take some more examples. Let's say I take this only and let's try making some changes. So I say partition by product ID, order by sale date, uh, and I will say sale date descending order, descending. That means highest date. I mean the latest date will be at the top, right? Rows between, I will say current row, and and I will say unbounded following, right? As running total. So what we are trying to do, I'm saying okay, if, I mean, let me run it and show it to you. Okay, so you can see if I am at, let's say, when we are doing sale date descending, then the latest date is at the top and the earliest is at the bottom. So let's say we start from 15, right? Now I'm saying current row and unbounded following, right? So if you see here, current row is what? This one, and unbounded following. Is there anything which is below this? No. For this particular group, no. So 4 only. Now when you come here, current row and unbounded following, that means from this second row till the first row, everything, right? So we get 10. So when we are at third row, current row is third row, unbounded following means first row. From third row till first row, everything, right? So 15, like that, right? So if you see this 71, this will be sum of all the laptops sold till 26th of August. I mean, kind of you would have understood what we are trying to do, right? So you understood about unbounded following, unbounded preceding, and things like that. Just have a look at it. I hope you are able to understand this properly, right? Okay. Now, what we will do, let's say I take this and make some change. I say, I say rows between unbounded unbounded preceding and unbounded following, right? Order by sale date descending rows between unbounded preceding and unbounded following. That means first row in this group and last row in this group. That means you want sum of everything, right? Sum of everything, kind of. Then it does not become like a running total, isn't it? It becomes like, okay, the sum of entire group. I'll just show you that. I'll just show you that, right? So what happens is, let's say whatever row we are, let's say we are at this row. It says unbounded preceding, that means first row. Unbounded following means last row in this group. What's the sum? Right? 71. So all rows have 71. So this, whatever we have written, right? So you see 71 total products, laptops sold, right? 203 smartphones sold, and 115 tablets sold. Now, whatever we have written is equivalent to, I mean, I will just say comma here. It's the running total 1, comma, and I copy this, okay? Running total 2, removing this comma from here, and if I even say partition by product ID and I remove this order by entirely, if I remove this, don't you feel it's the same result? I mean, I think this will be giving us the same results. You see this, it's equivalent to this. If you remove order by, I mean, if you remove the order by and just have partition by, it's same as order by unbounded preceding and unbounded following, because from the first row till the last row you want to add everything, right? Unbounded preceding means first row, unbounded following means last row, but within that group is what? Partition, I mean, right? Within that partition. I hope this makes sense to you, right? So we kind of have covered a lot here, right? We covered many scenarios, and this should give you a clear-cut idea on when to use what, right? So this knowledge is very very important. So if you would see the write some aggregate function like sum, and then give some column name like salary, right? And then over, and then I mean, it's optional whether we want to give partition by or not. So partition by, right? What column, whatever you have to give, and then order by is also optional, right? If you kind of give partition by, then it, let's say there are three departments, then for each department it would do that thing. But if you do not give partition by, it will treat the entire table as one big partition. Now if you do not give order by, then for each partition, like if let's say for HR there are 4 rows, for all those 4 rows we want to get the same value. But when we give order by, it becomes more like a running total or that kind of thing, right? But we can change the behavior, whether we want it from the first row till the current row, or the previous 2 rows, or the next 2 rows, or from the first row till the end, whatever, right? So that's where we have, right, the scenarios like rows between, right? And in this, the options that we have: current row, what you have to understand is rows between this current row you have to remember, and you have to understand uh, like preceding word, two preceding or three preceding, whatever it is, right? That means two previous rows. Two preceding means two previous rows. Two following means next 2 rows, right? Current row means the current row, and unbounded unbounded preceding means the first row, and unbounded following means the last row, right? So that's how this means, and if you understand this, things should become very very easy. So with this, I will end the session. This is a very very important session. Lot of hard problems can be solved using this if you understand this well. So I would say practice this more, and I'm sure you would have enjoyed this session. With this, let me end this. Thanks a lot.